In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to get the brand new unlockable spell which opens a big door which is actually hidden beneath the waterfall, and then how to complete the trials that you have to do after you open the door to get access to Silas's tomb and pretty much the cure, which is now an added way to get the cure and the only way for you to get the cure unless you're Ketsia, who can of course make the cure. So as I mentioned, the actual secret door is actually hidden behind the waterfall, and so if you come to the very bottom of it, there's actually this secret hole, which you can jump through and then access this cave. Now here's the big door I'm talking about, but before we actually get into that, we actually need to get the spell for the door. And so, while talking to this ghost, she gives you hints not only about the spell, but the entire trial process. The very first thing you are shown when talking to Caitlin Shane is actually about the spell itself. Specifically, the last two ending words. Leather and page, forgotten with age. Read the whole thing, it talks about how the spell was forgotten in age, and it's in leather and page, talking about magic and old magic. And of course, there's only one place in the game that has old magic, which is the Old Witch House. So then you have to go to the Old Witch House, which is located directly behind the graveyard, which is pretty hard to miss. If you need even more help, it's directly next to the church, as you can see. And so the spell is in the same place no matter what, it's not randomized. So all you need to do is enter the witch house, go up the stairs, and it should be right here floating. Just floating here with a yellow aura. You then walk to it, it says unlocked spell, and it gives you this spell permanently for every witch character in the game. Once you have the spell unlocked, come back to the tomb, or the door to the tomb, and open it. When you jump down, you should be greeted by, as you see, a skeleton, but also your first trial, which as you see are a bunch of vines. And so Caitlin Shane actually tells you something about the vines. So one of the final riddles she actually tells you is about the first-ish trial you have, and it talks about your flame must burn bright, and thorns and green tentacles. So pretty much, you just need to burn the thorns and green tentacles, which means just use Incendia. Now, since we know what to do, just equip Incendia and shoot it at the vines, and as you see, they will just burn away to show the second-ish trial. So obviously, the second-ish trial is just parkour, but there is still a riddle for it. The third riddle she gives you is about the parkour, which pretty much just tells you it's parkour, and if you fall, your trial will restart. Pretty much, it just teleports you back outside the cave, and it's just basic parkour. So, it's just basic parkour. A hint to get over it is just you vampire jumping. One singular jump can quite literally, as you see, send you over the entire thing. But of course, for witches, like Bonnie right there, they have to do the actual parkour. Another hint though is you can actually put them to sleep, hold their ragdolls, and then jump over the entire thing, bringing them to the end. As you see, they're doing pretty much what is the first trial, which actually, I'm going to show you right now. The final trial, even though technically it's the first since you have to do it from the start, is this big lava door which can only open by breaking these small crystals. Here is the riddle that was given to actually tell you that. So this one's actually pretty self-explanatory. It says once inside, whispers turn to a chilling song. So right there, it talks about crystals, like eyes, hold secrets. And literally at the end, it says all it takes is a simple attack, which of course references literally the basic combat attack. And so now, starting from the beginning, I'm going to show you what it actually look like. You come down here, you go around, you break all the crystals, and then come over to this one, which I also just use vampire jumping. Oh no. Oops. As you see, falling is very common, but literally within seconds you just get back to where you were. And I will say it's much easier to jump the entire thing than jumping from that mid part. And then the door opens to reveal technically the final trial, but it is just the ending. And so now what you have to do is pretty simple, and there is of course a riddle for it. So just a bonus, there is Atticus Shane down here. which is a professor and actually gives you two quests. One is to find a med kit at the hospital and then bring it back to him. And then the second one is for Bonnie, which will unlock an expression ability that is called Wound Infliction and will reveal Silas in his disguised state. And I will show you both of them in this video. So the final thing Caitlin Shane tells you is heed the last warning, a chilling degree, the path demands two, not just one, you see. The magic is potent, a bond it demands. Two witches unite, hands clasped in hand. Which basically talks about the final thing, which is channeling, which was also added in this update. And so it's a nice little feature, and just like the TVL 1, you had to channel dark magic, which actually has a couple effects on you, which is really cool. So when you enter the trial room, you might notice there is a pedestal, and there are torches and skulls. But there is nothing to specifically channel. And I thought that too until I looked at the torches and realized torches should probably be lit. So if you do the Incendia spell on the torch, it actually lights the torch. And yes, you must repeat this a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. But because you need 2 people, it literally is maybe 15 seconds at most if both of you are using your Incendia spells to actually light the torches. As you see, we have 1 torch left. And then something will be revealed in the process. So let me just actually get magic. And as you see, a sound cue pops up. And now there's a big old channel circle. Now you either click on tablet, phone, and of course on PC, or you can hold E, which also interacts. As you see, waiting for another witch. I actually need more magic for this, and you'll see why in a second. So if I channel this, nothing will happen. I need another witch. But if another witch comes and joins my channel, it starts the spell, which as you see takes magic and health away due to the darkness of this magic, and it could actually kill Celeste if not fast enough. As you see, upon completing a hidden passage reveals itself shrouded in mystery and rife with untold secrets. And now, if I go through the passage, it brings you directly to Silas's tomb with the cure. And that's pretty much it for the actual tomb part. But now, let's do it in one go to show you what it would actually be like. So now you would start off by, of course, jumping down and breaking the crystals. And then, of course, you eventually hit the Divine Wall, which is simple. You just Incendia it. And I suggest being a heretic because you need to be a witch. You need to be able to burn the wall. And, of course, the channeling portion, you need to be a witch. So, the best witch, honestly, for this is a heretic. As you see, I'm nice and speedy. I already have the other person in here. Then the longest part is actually lighting the torches because you have to wait for the cooldown. And me and Silas are channeled, which I will show you at the end of this video. Just like I'm going to show you the bonus quests, I will show you the channeling in this update. So as you see, slow but surely, you actually light all the torches. And I will say another hint is mobile players are absolutely just cracked at this entire process. Because you can, use 3 fingers at a time and instantly get that bar up. While PC players must spam F, which is actually harder, like way harder. And so let's channel. And as you see, because me and Celeste are channeled, it's taking more magic from us. And now, the tomb is down, so we run in, and then collect the cure. As you see, it is the cure, it works as the cure, and then when you are done, just quickly, Silas appreciation, like look at this amazing art. You come out, and you would think, oh, if there's a hole here, why wouldn't you just come back? And that's because they actually use a one-way wall. As you see, I walk out, and the wall fills itself. Pretty interesting, and it's honestly pretty cool. And so that's it for the actual tomb itself, getting the cure. But of course, there are 2 quests and channeling to still show you. To get the actual medkit, you need to come down to the hospital. come in, take a left to the rooms, and it should be in one of these rooms. I'm pretty sure it's either in this room. I don't remember because I already did the quest and it's a one-time completion only. Just check the rooms, and just like the spell book, it'll be a glowing med kit, which when you pick up, will actually show up in your inventory. You can't do anything with it. And then you need to actually just run back all the way back to the tomb, do the entire thing, get into that channeling place, and then give him the med kit. If that's all you wanted to do, you can run out. But, as you might notice, the door automatically closes behind you. If you don't have another witch to channel, you're pretty much stuck there to die. So then, once you are Bonnie and you come down into this room to Atticus, you click him, and then here comes the dialogue. Pause if you actually want to read it all. Any random person on the street, which will actually is directly referencing the ability you're gonna get. Expression magic. Ooh. So then as you see, there's a price to pay for power, yada yada. I need something to fight back. Teach me. And just like that, you actually don't get a quest. They just straight up give you wound infliction, a brand new expression ability. As you can see, Bonnie creates devastating rips in the body. So let's test it out. So I have respawned as Bonnie, as I got stuck in the tomb, and I'm going to show you what wound infliction is. You click the target, and Bonnie slashes her victims, and if they were actually Silas, the disguise would falter and reveal Silas, but I sadly do not have access to him. And so, as you see, I did it on Stefan, and it does decent damage, so in general, it's a good ability. And I like how they add them, like the game mechanic of getting abilities through quests and finding abilities. It could be a very interesting thing to see what they do with it. And now for the final part of this video, as I promised earlier, I will just show you the channeling system. I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown of channeling. In TVL 2, specifically, you can only channel witches. By that, I mean they must have a witch side. You cannot channel vampires. While maybe in the future they have a vampire channeling ability, as of right now, you can only channel the magical stat of people. This might be due to systems and all that, or, vampires regain energy really fast. So maybe something like that. And so when you channel somebody, or when you get a request to channel, it says the person's name, da 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 da, and how much magic you're gonna have. If you accept it, it will take a little while to channel. I want you to take note of my magic. It's not max, it's not full. Just take note. After you're done channeling, you get knocked out, and then after you wake up, after a couple seconds, you will realize you have no magic. I don't know why it's like that. Maybe it's the script. When you pull it together, it's zero. But take note of that. Just try to remember that, because if you're in a fight, or honestly you're trying to do a big spell or do some combos testing, something like that, and you need a lot of magic, when you channel you have none. Now that's fine, because most witches in this game, including Bonnie, who I'm playing as, can literally just get magic from a different source. Siphoning, channeling talismans and ancestors, stuff like that. But if you're doing a Silas, by the way, go check out that showcase on my channel, and a Hope, they use a lot of magic, and they only have natural regeneration, which is 10 magic a tick. To me, a tick is pretty much every time it goes up. I say a tick. That's where it's in Roblox script. And so, just remember, you start with 0. And so, of course, you use the same pool. You regain the same amount of magic. And that should be it, but there is one disclaimer about channeling in this game. Not only do you have 0 when you actually start channeling, when your channel ultimately dies and or they leave, no matter what, when the link breaks, which I need to you lose all your magic. That's another thing to be wary about, because when you lose all your magic, you're really vulnerable in this game, because most people are witches, or strong people. Now, if you're Immortal Silas, you can't even channel. But if you're a Witch Silas, who can barely regenerate magic, naturally and still use his abilities pretty often, you're really weak. But as I said again, most people can, as you see, quickly regain magic in simple ways as channeling and siphoning. So that is it for channeling. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And also, I'll be releasing a video specifically about the Silas's updates and features of the update, not just about a specific thing. So kind of be a broad video, including everything in the update. And so have a good one. Goodbye.